Two Babylons, one enemy. The beast with 7 heads has appeared since the time of ancient Mesopotamia, shown on the left in a relief from ancient Mesopotamia. In Revelation 17, in the New Testament, a woman rides the beast, that is, Mystery Babylon. Revelation 18:2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. From the beginning, there's been 2 realms or dimensions. At the fall of mankind into sin, God created a barrier keeping everyone out of Eden. Isaiah revealed that God also placed a veil or barrier over the earth. Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Isaiah 34:4, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their host shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Isaiah 64:1, Oh, that thou wouldest rend the heavens, that thou wouldest come down, that the mountains might flow down at thy presence. So God not only formed a barrier around Eden, but also there is a veil over all nations, over the whole earth. Satan limited in the earthly realm. God only permits Satan limited freedom on earth. Satan has to ask permission to test Job. Job 1:7, and the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord, and he said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan in Job 1:12, Behold, all that is Job hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Although called the prince of this world, John 12:31, and the God of this world, 2 Corinthians 4:4, his power is kept in check. Also, because sin separates from God, Isaiah 59:2, Satan's realm is separated from the heavenly realm. Satan's kingdom has its own hierarchy, technology, and theology. Satan attempts to break through into the earthly realm. Genesis 10:8, and Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before or against the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. That is the same region where Mesopotamia later rose. Genesis 11:4, and they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach into heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. At Babel, Satan had manifested himself as Nimrod, an early Antichrist figure. As Nimrod, he attempted to build a tower to serve as a bridge between his kingdom and the earthly realm. He evidently planned to increase his control. However, God again put limitations on Satan's plans. Enlil, the ancient Mesopotamian god, is seen as a manifestation of Satan and has planned to control the earthly realm. He was a seeder. He changed the genetics of humankind. Daniel 2:43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they, that is 10 kings, shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So we'll see that Mesopotamian god Enlil is in fact Satan. Satan's realm and hierarchy is made up of demonic entities and Nephilim, hybrid demonic entities. In Genesis 6 and 4, we see that the offspring of the fallen angels, the Nephilim, became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Enlil, that is Satan, and another Mesopotamian god, Enki, and genetics. Marduk Nimrod was son of Cush, becoming a Gibor by Enki's genetic manipulation, according to Mesopotamian history. So at the time of Babel, Nimrod underwent transformation, probably by an infusion of recombinant DNA. He stood in defiance of Yahweh. Enlil incarnated to oppose Enki. Marduk Nimrod, by Sumerian tradition, was an incarnation of Enlil. Since Enki was exiled, Enlil took control of Enki's genetic program, attempting to create a slave race. In truth, Enlil, Satan, is seeking to enslave all of humanity. He is in opposition to the seed of the woman, Genesis 3 and 15. The seed of the woman is Yeshua, or Jesus. Enki incarnated at various times to influence and support those he had genetically altered. Enki's motivation is preserving his seed, saying he will reverse genetic decay, bring technology and enlightenment without judgment. So Enki, I believe, is a false Christ figure. We don't know how he's going to manifest in these last days, but he is evidently manifesting as a false Christ. These are two competing programs producing hybrids. The production of hybrids is a disturbing aspect of the UFO phenomenon, frequently reported by contactees. Enki, as a false Christ, is setting himself up as savior of humanity. The nations ruled by the sons of God, Deuteronomy 32 and 8, in the English Standard Version. When the Most High gave to the nations their inheritance, when he divided mankind, he fixed the borders of the peoples according to the number of the sons of God. But the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob, his allotted heritage. The English Standard Version makes use of older texts not used by King James translators. In Deuteronomy 32 and 8, the English Standard Version has the original 70 nations of Genesis 10 allotted to the sons of God, or angels. Mankind had rebelled at Eden and at Babel. God's plan had the original nation ruled by the angels, while he established the new nation of Israel. But we see that Deuteronomy 32 and 8 is from the original Septuagint version, which had been used by the apostles. Jesus Christ quoted from it. The King James Version and other versions is from the Masoretic Old Testament, produced by Jewish scribes. It differs from the Septuagint in many verses. It seems more likely that the sons of God was changed to sons of Israel than vice versa, the sons of Israel being changed to sons of God. It seems that it's likely that it was changed in the Masoretic text. But the 70 nations were assigned by God according to the Septuagint as belonging to those, or being under the rulership of the 70 sons of God. According to the Masoretic text, those 70 nations were under the guidance, under the control of the 70 original settlers from Israel, of the Israelite nation in Egypt. But of course, they did not exist at the time of the 70 nations coming into being. So we have all these scriptures. It seems a lot of background scriptures, they seem to make more sense as the nations being ruled by the sons of God rather than the sons of Israel. Principalities and powers. Further details about the council of angels and their rule of the nations is provided in Psalms 82. The angels are accused of negligence. God's judgment is coming because all the foundations of the earth are out of course, according to Psalm 82. The angelic rebellion created power structures competing for control of the nations. Psalms 82, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods, Elohim. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked, Selah? Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. So God is clearly talking about spiritual beings, the sons of God. And so this psalm is to be joined with Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Enlil, that is Satan, in ancient Mesopotamia. Scholars believe that Enlil from ancient Mesopotamian history is Lucifer or Satan from Scripture. He is shown in reliefs as a deity with a crown of 10 horns, or battling the 7-headed beast. Isaiah 14 and 12, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, that is Enlil, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Revelation 12 and 3, And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. So we see, even from ancient times, the 7-headed beast being battled by Enlil. And Enlil is also shown with a crown with 10 horns. So all this imagery has existed since ancient times, and John's vision in the book of Revelation matches what was seen in this ancient Mesopotamian history. Comparison of Isaiah 14, description of Lucifer, with ancient Mesopotamian descriptions of Enlil. Credit to Dr. Douglas Hamp, Corrupting the Image 2. Isaiah's description, his name was Hillel, Isaiah 14:12. Hillel, Hebrew equivalent of Illil in Mesopotamian history. He was the son of the dawn, verse 12. He caused the dawn. He laid the nations low, verse 12. Was a devastator. He aspired to set up his throne above the stars of El, verse 13. Illel's astral function was immense. He aspired to sit in the Mount of Assembly and on Saphon, verse 14-13. Illel was among the most prominent members in it in the divine assembly. He aspired to be like the Most High, verse 14. Ellul was the highest in Mesopotamia until the end of the second millennium. He fell down to earth into the midst of the pit, verses 12 and 15. Ellul's fall into underworld is recorded in first millennium texts. Rahab, or the first time civilizations. Isaiah 51 and 9. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Mesopotamia and Egypt ruled the ancient Near East. Egyptian records say that Thoth, the god Thoth, established dynastic Egypt at a time of catastrophic flooding. It is uncertain if this is the flood of Noah or another specifically aimed at the fallen angelic kingdom of the first time. There are several scriptural references to a place called Rahab, associated with Egypt and said to have been destroyed by God. Could it be that the destruction of Rahab was the catastrophic end of the Egyptian first time? The survivors were scattered, but where were they scattered to? The destruction of Rahab, possibly Atlantis. Psalm 89 and 10. Thou hast broken Rahab in pieces as one that is slain. Thou hast scattered thine enemies with thy strong arms. Again, where were they scattered to? This was perhaps an ET outpost with hybrid citizens. The destruction of Rahab by Yahweh includes Rahab, Atlantis, colonies, Inca, Olmec, Tehuacan, Angkor Wat, Easter Island, Göbekli Tepe, etc. The disappearance of these civilizations points to that possibility. The expansion of principalities and powers. The kingdom of Satan does not have free reign on earth. Psalm 89 and 10, thou hast scattered thine enemies. Much of the kingdom has dispersed into the outside universe. Some claim to be in contact with civilization from the Pleiades, Draco, Lyra, Orion, or other constellations. These are the so-called gods of ancient Babylon and Egypt. These gods are manifesting again in our day and time. These gods are certainly part of Mystery Babylon. Type and shadow. 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. Now all these things happen unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Type and shadow. The Greek word typos is translated as example, pattern. Titus 2:7, Hebrews 8:5. Form, Romans 6:17. Print, John 20:25. Ensample, 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. Fashion, Acts 7:44. Figure, Acts 7:43. And Romans 5:14. And manner, Acts 23:25. The Old Testament type is fulfilled in the New Testament antitype. In Hebrews 10 and 1, we see that a shadow is not something substantial, but is a prophetical device that points to something that is substantial. So the Medes and the Persians at the time of the invasion and the destruction of Babylon, we see how the hand came out to judge, to spell out the judgment of Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, and destruction by the Darius and Median kingdom. So he had been drinking out of the holy vessels that had been taken from the Israelite temple, and God weighed him in the balance, and he ended up slain that night, and his kingdom was taken. The New Testament antitype, Revelation 17 and 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, that is Mystery Babylon, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. God used the Medes and Persians to bring down the ancient kingdom of Babylon. He will use the 10 kings to destroy Mystery Babylon. This is type and antitype, Old Testament and New Testament agreeing. Now, the fall of Babylon and the fall of Mystery Babylon are joined by type and antitype. So Babylon, Isaiah 13 and 19, is said to be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah, and it'll become a desert. Uh, Satyrs shall dance there. Wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses. Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, to become the habitation of devils. Babylon, Mystery Babylon, are prisons for foul spiritual entities. This is revealed in both the Old and New Testaments. Here is scriptures in Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Revelation about the destruction of Babylon. This is good reading. So the destruction of literal Babylon began with the invasion of the Medes and Persians. Although there was partial reconstruction under Saddam Hussein, the original city has fallen into ruin. The destruction of Mystery Babylon is described as a transition into a demonic prison. The prophetic link between Old Testament Babylon and New Testament Mystery Babylon. The prophet Zechariah was shown a vision of a wicked woman in a basket, perhaps the same woman revealed in Revelation 17, who is riding the beast. 2 women with stork's wings transport her. Storks are an unclean bird in Scripture. The winged women, who are not angels, took the basket to Shinar or Babylon. There a house and a base were to be prepared, that is, a religious and political structure. God set up Mystery Babylon to fulfill his purpose in the last days. The house and base supporting the woman are represented in Revelation as the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. So this prophecy of Zechariah matches the prophecy in Revelation. It talks about how the Mystery Babylon was actually set up hundreds of years before the time of John's vision in Revelation. The demonic dimension behind Mystery Babylon is full of Nephilimic entities who are false gods in opposition to Yahweh and his manifestation in human form as Yeshua. Peter wrote from Rome, calling it Babylon. Both Peter and John linked Mystery Babylon with Rome. 1 Peter 5 and 13. The church that is at Babylon, he's obviously referring to Rome, that's where he was at the time, elected together with you, saluteth you. John described the Mystery Babylon trade network, which closely matched that of the Roman Empire of his day. Revelation 18:11 through 13. Rome also is the city of 7 hills, which matches the description of Mystery Babylon, Revelation 17 and 9. Let's talk about how Satan brings Mystery Babylon into existence in the last days. After falling from heaven, Satan, that is a fallen star, a fallen angel, is given a key to the bottomless pit, perhaps an interdimensional wormhole. God now permits Satan to have freedom on earth. The access denied at Babel is now reversed. Revelation 9 and 1. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. The king of the bottomless pit is Apollo, son of Jupiter, or Zeus, that is, Satan, another manifestation of Satan. Apollo is a sun god and may be the same as Osiris, also a sun god. Revelation 9 and 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. He must continue a short space, perhaps long enough to set up the Antichrist, having opened the portal. This is the portal closed at Babylon, or at Babel, before Babylon. It now serves God's purpose to set Satan free on earth, but God gives Satan only a short time. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Going beyond the biblical symbolism, what might the rise of Mystery Babylon actually look like? Perhaps the Pope will proclaim the unification of the world's religions. He will preach that this is the great key to world peace. In unity, the universe will spiral towards the omega point singularity, according to Catholic theology. He and the prophet chosen by the gods would lead humanity into the singularity. All would evolve both physically, speaks of transhumanism, and spiritually. Our consciousness would be in harmony with the universal consciousness. He will exhort the world to join him. This is Mystery Babylon, the new world religion.